during this placement, I really think I actually strengthened and improved my ability to, assess performance and identify issues. I think for each of my clients, they all had their own enablers and barriers, and they each had their own unique performance issues and problems that they were each dealing with. And I feel like I was able to identify the main ones and of the main concern for each client, which I was quite happy about. We had a solid case behind why we were doing things based on the problems that we had identified, and we could reason pretty much everything we did because of the problems we identified. So it was good though. The home that we were at, each of my clients had already been there for a considerable amount of time. So that my OT supervisor there, which was there every day, which was great. Before we met our clients, she filled us in on our clients, and part of our introduction, she told us about some of the problems that our clients were experiencing. So when we started our placement, we kind of already had an idea of some of the implications and problems that our clients were facing. So when it came to doing their initial interviews and observations, we kind of already had an idea of what to look for and what to ask for. So we were able to actually really identify pretty clearly. So when it came to assessments, we were able to pick the assessments that we thought would, solidify and help us get down on paper identified problems, which is why with our clients that have more cognitive issues, we picked a mocker because the mocker that we chose, we got the results that we expected, and they definitely helped us pinpoint the cognitive issues that they were facing and identify the problems. So my two residents, they both have memory and executive problems and orientation problems. So that was great because we used that when we were doing our interventions with them. And then our other two clients were more physical based problems. So we used an activities based assessment, and that was good at identifying areas where the performance was a little decreased. So that was good at identifying problems that we then used to justify interventions. So, it was great having the OT supervisor there. She was able to help us. So when we did our assessments and we identified our problems, we brought it up with our supervisor. She, helped us elaborate on those problems and explain them to us so that when we talked to our client about them, we had a better understanding. But I guess I can always improve. The biggest thing that I'm going to say for myself is that I do need to improve on my ability to sort of connect the problems I identified in assessments and link them to actual occupational implications. So, they have this problem. What does that actually mean for them? I think I need to work on that. I think that will improve more as I do more placements and I start actually putting things into practice and observing more things and having a bit more clinical experience. I might have a better understanding of the clinical implications for some people due to some problems identified. And I also do need to work on my time management. So I didn't get to my assessments until I think week 5. I spent a lot of time on observations and initial interviewing and talking to my client, asking them a lot of things, which was good because I had a pretty good knowledge base about them. I built my rapport. That was a big thing for me. I have a really good rapport with each of my clients, and they really enjoyed us coming. So that made it a lot better and like a really funner placement to have. So that's something I've got to work on. I think I need to be able to identify problems quicker and identify what those means for their performance so that I can have more time working on my interventions, because I'm sure in real life some of my interventions aren't going to work, so I'm going to need the time to see what isn't working and adjust them accordingly. So in my action plan, some of the things that I have picked out is, build my clinical experience, build my knowledge, research more about the certain problems that I've identified, and then have a more solid understanding of the like occupational performance problems that they would cause. I think that'll really help in my 4th year, so that I can actually, do some interventions that are actually helping the client, and my reasoning behind it, that's going to be really, great to do and to do on placements. I think it'll help me a lot. So I think to improve my knowledge of the clinical implications, yeah, I'm going to have to do a lot more research about, the problems I've identified, what that means for performance, and then from there I can start researching on, well, how do I improve the performance, or what treatments or what intervention plans do I need to do. So I think that's really going to help. But overall, I was pretty happy with our ability to assess our clients and identify problems. I feel like we got all of the main ones, and all of our interventions were based on this, so it made our actual goals and interventions a lot better, and I felt like we actually made progress with each of our clients.